Good evening. Hundreds braved the rain this morning to commemorate Australia's fallen at the Wollongong ANZAC Day service. Dozens of veterans, servicemen and women and RSL sub-branches marched towards the city's cenotaph in a salute to those that never returned home. Meanwhile, 7 Warbird aircrafts flew over Shell Harbour, Wollongong and Kiama. It was the largest ever ANZAC overflight staged by the Haas Aviation Museum. The South Coast train line has reopened between Thirroul and Waterfall after the route was severely impacted by the recent storms. In Otford, a landslip saw 300 workers remove almost 10,000 tonnes of debris. And the Wollongong Short Film Festival, which got rained out last month, is set to move to a new location. It'll now take place at the Gala Cinema in Wollongong this Saturday. Good evening. An estimated 4,000 people have gathered in Ballarat for this morning's ANZAC Day service. They commemorated nearly 4,000 local men and nurses who left their small towns to serve in World War I. The acting mayor says Ballarat's many outstanding monuments ensure the cost of war is never far from mind. A new safety campaign has Ballarat pilots in its sights. It highlights the pressure placed on pilots when conducting a flight, including fatigue and other distractions. Civil Aviation Authority's Tim Penny says this Ballarat seminar will be vital. 80% of air accidents can be linked to mistakes or bad judgment. And a day trip to the Grampians has hit an unexpected speed bump. A 25-year-old Werribee woman has been recorded doing nearly 170 k's in a 110 zone. Good evening. Locals have turned out in droves today as ANZAC services return to the central north. Thousands lined the Soldiers Memorial Institute in Bendigo, honouring local heroes. It marks 2 years since services could be conducted in full due to pandemic restrictions. Forest Fire Management is working with traditional landowners to conduct a major vegetation burn tomorrow. Weather permitting, they'll set nearly 150 hectares of land alight just southeast of Dingy. The member for Bendigo is championing Labor's Services Australia plan ahead of the federal election. Lisa Chester says more local Centrelink services will deliver more jobs and better support for Central Victorians. And locals of the Gannawarra can now recycle glass bottles for free at Council's new transfer station. Good evening. More than 20,000 Canberrans braved the autumn chill to pay their respects at the ANZAC Day dawn service. Due to construction at the War Memorial, the setting was different, but the spirit and respect remained. Thousands stayed afterwards to watch the Veterans March. An accused rapist has been granted bail after facing the ACT Magistrates Court today. The 48-year-old man is facing 2 counts of sexual intercourse without consent and 2 counts of indecent acts. It's alleged the offences occurred last week. And double demerits remain in place until midnight for here in the ACT and across the border. Canberra police say this time last year they handed out around 250 fines for those doing the wrong things. Officers will be looking for offences like not wearing seatbelts, speeding or using a mobile phone. Good evening. 22 crew members of the HMAS Chul's L100 who helped evacuate dozens of residents during the Black Summer bushfires have returned to Mallacoota. They joined hundreds commemorating Australia's fallen at the Mallacoota RSL sub-branch dawn service. Able seaman Thomas Shearman reflected, "The last time I looked out over this water, it was on fire." There's been renewed calls to not eat fish from the Gippsland lakes following another outbreak of blue-green algae. Lake Wellington and Cunningham Arm in Lakes Entrance are the only 2 areas that are safe to swim in. But DELP have cautioned they are not safe to consume seafood from. And there's been calls to help locate missing 13-year-old Natalia, who's been missing for almost a week. Police believe she may be located around the Mill Park or South Morang area. Good evening. Thousands have turned out for ANZAC dawn services and veterans marches from the Hunter to the Central Coast. Locals lined the street for a dawn march in Terrigal, and as the sun rose over the beach, it revealed the hundreds turning out to pay their respects to serving personnel both past and present. Thousands lined Nobby's Beach for the dawn service, the service there ending with a 4-gun salute. Each shot paying tribute to serving personnel past and present, the Navy, Army and Air Force. Double demerit points remain in place until midnight tonight. New South Wales Police are targeting the usual offences, including speeding, not wearing a seatbelt, using a mobile phone and not wearing a helmet. And an 18-year-old's been charged following police chase and car theft in Hamilton South. The teenager is facing 5 charges.